Yes. So a very good evening to all our attendees and viewers who are watching us live on FB and YouTube. A very warm welcome to our Saga series. And ladies and gentlemen, a quick recap for those of you who are new to Pickabook. Pickabook is all about reading and more reading and inculcating the habit of reading, research, and presenting the summary of it in our regular meeting sessions. Creating a better world by changing the sense of self through the habit of reading is the vision of Pickabook. Currently, Pickabook marks its inspiring presence in 4 countries: Sri Lanka, India, Singapore, and UK. And with over 1,000 plus readers, 18 regions, and 70,000 plus people inspired through our sessions in just a span of 1 year, Pickabook continues to spread its wings across the globe. So we have come up with a new initiative, a brand of its own called Author Saga series, wherein the authors can reach their readers and the individuals with like-minded interests. Authors can also discuss the key insights of the books, and readers can have the opportunity to know about the book from the author himself or herself. So today we have with us Manvinder, with a book titled Uploading God. So Manvinder is basically an educationist and has been teaching English and psychology for more than 15 years. Her childhood memories spring back from Chandigarh, where she was born and brought up. So she did her post-graduation from Punjab University, Chandigarh. Currently, she is settled in Ludhiana, Punjab. So the fascinating world of spirituality has always allured Manvinder. While teaching a student, she felt that youngsters feel that this topic is not for them. So contrastingly, she felt that they are the ones who need to be made aware of this enticing world. Knowing spirituality not only refines the journey beyond, but most importantly guides us about the right way of living our lives. So we are waiting to listen to you, Ms. Manvinder. A very warm welcome to you, and it's a pleasure to have you with us tonight.
Thank you so much, Swarna. It's a pleasure for me also to be here with Pickabook.
Thank you. So quickly, I just want to know, okay, before that, we all from Pickabook and the lovely audience here tonight, we all, extend our congratulations on this wonderful book, and we wish you a very long way in writing.
Thank you so much, Swarna. Thank you.
Yes. And Manvinder, are you an avid reader? And do you anyway think that reading books played an important role in making you what you are today and help you writing?
Definitely, Swarna. I think so. Reading is what I am today, and it all started back when I was a child, and when I was I was in my 5th grade. I remember I started reading, and it was in my school that the teacher said that you have to get your books and then you have to submit your project reports. It was my first book. I still remember it was Toyland Stories. And all the toys would come up, into the life, and they would at the night, and they would talk, and then the stories would be made, and I would be transported into that, fairyland world. It was such a pleasure for me at that tender age, and then that craving for the books started because I was the only child of my parents, and I didn't have any brother, sister, or I was not so much of a social child. Also, I didn't used to go out much. So books, as they say, they were my best friends, and they still are my best friends. I grew up with reading books. I used to just delve into the books, and I used to forget the count of time, like where it's going. And probably that's what I didn't realize when I was reading the book. But after all these years, when the writing part came in, and it just flew on. I didn't have to make any effort of expressing myself. It was basic. It was embedded in me. So book writing came easily to me, or that is a very later stage. The writing part came very easily to me just because of reading. So I think so. This is the part where this generation also needs to be, there, because they are always in the gadgets, and reading is a must.
Exactly. That's our vision and motive also, behind book about. So we are trying, big time to inculcate this habit into, especially the younger generation, the who are glued to social media. Okay. And yes, and how did all this started? Like, how did your journey as a writer start?
All right. So I have been writing in different, ways before. I have been writing for magazines. I have been writing for different websites. I have been writing blogs. But book writing never occurred to me until last year. I would say thanks to the lockdown. I was. I'm sorry if I'm sounding that way, but it all started due to that only, because I was at home and I didn't know. I didn't have any way out, but I was just scrolling this Facebook page of mine, and a wonderful ad came up to me, uh, telling me that you can be a author in 30 days. And that was a seminar by Mr. Kailash Pinjani. He was there to give the seminar. I joined the seminar, and as they say, the rest is history. So I participated in that bookathon, in which it was, we were supposed to write a book in 1 month. Although I took a lot more, many days, but still that book happened, and it was a marvelous journey in itself. So at that point of time, I realized that, this is the thing I always wanted to do. Instead of writing just odd things here and there, this was one thing which is really close to my heart.
Superb. I think, most of the audience who have come on this platform, at least 60% of them have started their book due to the current crisis. So there is always a positive side of any negative thing. So let's hope it that way. Yeah, and so what made you interested in writing this book in first place? Like, and the title is also so amazing, Uploading God. I mean, in fact, I'm hearing it for the first time when I heard that. It was so interesting. Why did you title it that way?
See, I initially thought of writing a fiction book, but I just laid that project a little back. Because spirituality was really close to my heart, and I was, in this period of lockdown, I was struggling with this depression of, not doing anything, not being productive, just being enclosed in the four walls, and just doing the mundane things. But that's where spirituality helped me, doing simple things like meditation, yoga, breathing exercises, and, just enjoying the nature around. These are the simple things which really enliven you. And I've thought that, this is the thing which needs to be told to others also, and which, there is a very nice thing which my guru told me, that whenever you are in a mess, this mess of yours can be a message to others. So that's what inspired me. And about the title, because I was thinking about the teenagers. Basically, if you have read my introduction also, I basically focus this book for teenagers, because they are the ones who run away from this word. There is some guru coming, and she's going to teach and preach us, ye karo and wo karo, and it was not like that. I wanted to change their mindsets and beliefs, and because this is in their lingo, because they are downloading and uploading all the datas around. So I was thinking, well, what should I give this title? And this immediately came up into my mind, that why don't we upload it? Why don't we upload God in our systems? And then it happened.
Thank you. So now many people are downloading it.
Yes. I hope so.
We will surely, after the session, at least some of them get inspired. That's a very good thing.
I really hope so.
Yes. Okay, so now let's, ladies and gentlemen, that's a small introduction about, from Manvinder, about her journey as a writer. So let's now move on to know more about what's in there for us in the book. So with my first question to you, and can you elaborate a little bit about myths relating to spirituality? Because as you mentioned in your introduction, as the first perception or the first thought when I heard about this is like spirituality. So many things coming up in brain. So what is that you want to convey the message to this book?
Okay. So the foremost thing when a spiritual concept is being introduced to anybody, it is thought to be religious. Actually, the religion part and the spiritual part is totally different. Religion is somewhat like, that was a tool initially, if we really go back, how it was formulated. So, religion was formulated as a tool to people to get connected to God. And thus they formed certain rituals, customs, which we used to follow, which we are still following. But what happened in the way was that man just modulated certain rules, and it became such strict institution in itself that the new generation, because they have the skeptical minds and they have the questioning minds, they refuse to follow those systems and shut their minds for that. But spirituality is a concept which gives freedom to the mind and to the brain also. It tells you that you are not going to follow any rules, but you are going to follow some decorum in your life. And that decorum is very essence of your being. Spirituality is actually not doing something, it's actually learning to undoing something. We are doing too many things at so rapidly right now. Also, if you can just see any child, he is busy at with his laptop, he's busy on the screen, he's busy the kids, even the toddlers, even the young ones, they don't eat food unless they see the camera in front of them. So this is where we are just moving away from the very essence of our living, the very roots of our living. And then we say that we are depressed, we are having so many problems. So one first myth which I just wanted to address, that it is not a religion. It is a study, it's the very essence of your nature. The second thing is spiritual, just arousing from this only, that will I have to leave my religion if I'm practicing spirituality? Which is not at all. In fact, spirituality takes you towards your religion. It tells you that the ways which were initially told were right. It tells you the why behind those things, and it actually goes towards it. So it will not take you away. You don't have to leave any religion, any kind of religion, be it Sikhism, be it Hinduism, be it Muslim, or any religion. Right. And do I have to practice many things, or do I have to leave my home? Do I have to live in ashrams, or so many kind of things? So this is not at all. As I said, it is just easy living, easy flowing living. So you don't have to think too much for that. You just have to calm yourself down, and that is what it is. And yourself will tell you what to do.
Yes.
That is what.
Great, awesome. So that's usually the myths which are circulated around these days. Like how you said, it is concerned with religion or something to do with becoming a sage, going somewhere, doing everything. So those are all myths. As to Mahavendra, it's just a myth. So this is all about knowing yourself the more, understanding yourself better. It's not that taking you anywhere from your connected piece. So yes, thank you so much, Mahavendra, for that. And okay, and moving on to my next question. Can you give us a few quick and easy tips for the essence of spirituality?
All right. So it's actually, as I told you, it's very easy. So for starters, we need to have a sound body and a sound mind. For that, really two simple things we can just practice, and then we can enhance. The first thing is simple yoga exercises, if we can do that, strengthen the bodies, and it gives us mentally, strength to face the adversities of life. And same way, while we are practicing yoga or light exercises, we need to focus on breath, because breath is the powerhouse of energy. It is the source of energy for us, for our body. So focusing on that and doing some pranayams is a must for everybody. And it's very simple. It's the not the fancy word pranayams or yoga. It's very simple. It's really simple. And time constraint is there, otherwise I would have told you some. But just taking it is we are inherently with those things, but we don't see it, we miss it. So whenever we are in a tension, full of tension mode, we generally take a deep breath, like this. So this is a tool. You actually need to do this whenever you are in a very tense mood. You just take 3 or 4 heavy breaths, like full breaths, and you will calm yourself down. So these are the few things which we need to do. And then practicing gratitude is the most important thing. We are blessed with so many blessings in our lives, but we just keep on cribbing. The cribbing attracts more of the negativity, and then such a loophole or a pattern continues. So we need to concentrate on and thank God, and thank everybody. In fact, you're having your parents, you're having a house, a roof over your head, you are having your laptops, so many things. You are a fully functional human being. You're able to smell. Hundreds and thousands of things which we are just taken for granted. And the fourth thing, apart from gratitude, is forgiveness. Forgiving oneself, forgiving others who have hurt you also. That's a big thing. I know it's a heavy sounding thing. It's easier, you might say it's easier to say than to practice. But believe me, if you just practice these things, a marvelous change will come in your life. You will be at peace with yourself and your surroundings. So just one thing I would like to add here: there is a Ho'oponopo therapy in which you just say 4 lines. What are those 4 lines? You can say them to yourselves, or you can say to the person. It is, you are supposed to say it in your mind, but if you want to settle things around, with the person, you can just say it in your self and keep on repeating like a mantra, and you really have to believe that it is going to work. Otherwise, this is all based on belief, right? So the first thing is, I am sorry, please forgive me, I love you, and thank you. So this is the story of life. I am sorry, just ask forgiveness. Okay, please forgive me if I've done something wrong. Please forgive me. You are asking from the soul. You are asking from the universe. And then you say, I love you, and I thank you. So these are the 4 things which you can do and practice. Simple things.
Simple things. And those are very, very simple, actually. It's not a critical. The word spirituality is such a big thing, but when you look at the things, that will lead us to being spiritual is very, very simple. In fact, after you share with us the tip, so it's no more related to the usual myths of spirituality. It's nothing to do with that. So everything like doing yoga is for physical fitness, and doing this breathing exercises. In fact, breathing is one thing that is only thing I think is associated with us right from the birth to till we leave the world. So that is so connected with the brain. So that soothes your tensions, body tensions. So that's one thing, ladies and gentlemen. Mind your breathing, have physical exercise, and be grateful for whatever you have, because that is the only way you can attract the more. I here at this point, I something like I think about the gratitude when I was talking to kids. So I have this thought. Simple wording where they say, generally, like when they go to birthdays, it's like if they say thank you to them, and they obviously we like to call them for the next party and give them more chocolates, really give. So when you don't say thank you and just make your faces and go back, they won't give it. So the more you're thankful, the more you give it. So in simple terms, it is so. So thank you so much for this wonderful tips about spirituality, Manvinda. So, and moving on to my next question. You talk about karma in your book. So, what exactly is it to you?
Please repeat the question.
So, you talk about karma in your book, right? So, what exactly does it mean to you, or what do you want to say about that?
It's a very nice question. I'm in the world of spiritualities. I think so. This is the most talked about. And karma, everybody thinks that I may be wrong in my interpretation, but karma is your doing, your acts. This is what everybody thinks. Whatever you do is your karma. But I think so. It is a much more broader spectrum of karma here we are talking about when we are dealing with birth and when we are dealing with suffering. Most often we always blame God, that why am I suffering like this? I've never done anything wrong. Most often many people would say, I've never done anything wrong, I've never hurt anybody, I didn't mean anything bad towards anybody. So why I'm the only one? I'm always crying. I'm always in the problems. Why is it? Why is God so partial to me? What we forget is that maybe in the past lives we have hurt that person, or we have karmic accounts with the persons we are joined with in our births which we are taking. So until and unless we settle down those karmic accounts, they will follow us in our next births. This we all know. This is in our religion also. But some people just brush it away, and then we live in ignorance. It's important that we come face to face with the seriousness or with the complexity of the thing. And it's just like you are playing a match and you do a goal. You just make a foul, right? So maybe the first time you are just given a warning. The next time you do the same mistake, you are given a penalty, and the third time around you will be expelled from the match. But you cannot blame the person who has organized the match. It is your doing. You are committing mistakes, you have to pay for it. So you cannot blame God for that. Secondly, it is karma. It's not only actions, it's the intent behind the actions. So if I say I can kill anybody, it's bad for me to kill anybody, that is a wrong karma for me. But for a soldier who is killing the enemy, it is his duty. So the intention matters. Why am I thinking? So before karma, the thought of the action actually produces karma, and that is more severe. So that is a deep thought, but if we continue to filter our thoughts during the day and focus on positivity and not on the negativity, definitely our karmas will be erased. And the more we connect towards, doing good acts, helping out others, and not cribbing. If you are suffering, if you are having some problems, just ask for strength from God to come out of those things, to get over the things, but never crib towards Him, because He is not the one. He is actually God. Actually feels bad because you're not able to understand the situation, and because that is a rule of the game. You have done a foul, you will get a penalty for that. So be ready to face that, and just whatever has been passed, we cannot undo that. But whatever we are doing right now, we can definitely, be remedial in that and be positive in that.
Very well said. Very well said, Manvinder. Thank you so much. That's karma in simple words, well explained. So intention is also equally important. So that example of a soldier is very, very beautiful, actually. So far we only associate karma with our actions, but then the intentions behind the actions is also considered a karma. Anyway, so thank you for that point. And so, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I think you all understood what karma is, and do not crib over anything, because when in bad situations or anything that goes wrong with you, we try to find fault, like why it's me. But when things are going well, then we never bother to say why it's me. So it's always like that. So you have to go through both good and bad to understand what is good and what is bad. So stay positive all the time, and just enjoy the present moment. So thank you so much for that, Manvinder. And moving on to my next question. Yes, this is one very interesting I want to know. Is healing one's own self is possible?
Definitely. While I was writing this chapter, this was the most closest to my heart. And That's why there are two sequels of it, like healing, know thyself, and then healing the ways. So we have to understand that the power which has made the body is the power which heals the body, you know. So how is it possible? I'll again give you an example. When we have fever, you know, when some our body immediately raises the temperature, and we think we are sick. Actually, we're not sick. It's the body telling that there is some virus and it's there to kill that virus. So the body intelligence is so much that it tackles the antibodies or the viruses in its own self. So where does everything go wrong? Why are we facing so many problems, or why are we getting so many illnesses around? Is because of the mindsets we are having. So basically, it goes in the thought patterns. So if we are feeling sad, or if we are feeling remorseful about something, the aura around us, waves which are transmitted are such that the illnesses, we attract the illnesses in our minds, and then they get materialized in our body. And we think that we keep on taking painkillers and everything, but as such we need to rectify the thought patterns. And thought patterns, how are we going to first is we are going to identify what is wrong, identify and come face to face with it. Then again, the same dictum of forgiveness and acceptance. There are some things, there is a these are the I am talking about the live studies which have been done on people. It's not just talk in the air. People have been come out dire state of near death experiences because of cancer. Just there was a lady in London. She was Indian only, but she had shifted in London. And she had this traumatic experience. She had cancer, and it was all, the blisters were all boiling hot and everything was there. And she was, she had this near death experience. And there at that point of when, the body is just going to, the soul is just going to transgress, the same point she had this realization that, it's not something with her body. It's in her thought pattern. It is the deep rooted anguish she had against her father who left her in the childhood. So it is all, she could not vent out her anger, she could not express her emotions at that point, and then the boils started coming out of the body. So she just confronted those fears, confronted those feelings which he had, and then she worked on them. And again, I'm not saying these are false words, or I'm just saying these are life situations which are life studies which are really there. And then the doctors were amazed that stage 3 cancer, whereas it evaporated, and she's right now also living right now. So it is let's not go far-fetched, but at least we can have positive mindsets of our own to have a disease-free life ahead, and not take on the painkillers and antidepressants. And there I am actually sometimes raised a question that then you think the medical is medical area is, it's not necessary for us. Definitely it's necessary. When we cut a finger, the we need a bandage around it. If we are dislocating a shoulder, we need so these are medical emergencies. But I'm talking about the diseases like type 2 diabetes, on the stress disorders which we are facing these days. These are just because of the negative thoughts which we inherit in ourselves. So we should stop feeding those negative thoughts.
Yes. True. Thank you. I'm so convinced with that. Because in a way, thought's very powerful. Like the moment you said thought, then it was like it's a simple thing. It's not something miracle or magical about it. Because when we go through everyday lives, so when we think of a negative thing, we always be in that state of mind. So so everything that happens around will turn negative. So when we are in a state of positive mind, everything is positive for us. So when your thought has the power change your state of mind, and change your physical state. So that's
And as humans, we tend to cling to the negativity more. We'll meet everybody during the day and we'll keep, these days I'm so depressed. These days I'm so depressed. You'll say 10 times and you're feeding that, you're giving that thought 10 times the value. So
yes.
with the positive, we don't do that. We are shy. I am doing yoga. No, I should not tell. I'm doing meditation. They'll think me outdated. That we don't tell it to anybody. So we should not be, shy from all these things. We should be upfronted and we should inspire others also.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's a very wonderful point shared by Manvinder. Try to speak only positive. Try to be in that positive state of mind and try to think only positive things and see if your health and if your physical health and mental health does get better for sure, 100%. So, that's none of us, not the religious gurus or not the doctors, and none of them can take this point away because it's scientifically also very, very true. It's the brain, it's how we think. So, thank you so much, Manvinder. And yes, so moving on to my last question for today. Can money and spirituality discussed on the same panel? So how do you correlate money with spirituality? This is, very, very weird for me because I've never heard of it, but at the same time interested to know the relation between them.
Yeah. So this is also one of the myths actually, that when you are being spiritual, you are just away from the Moh Maya, as they say. But initially, if you see, our gurus have never, shied away from tending to your own self. You have to earn for your upkeep and your family's upkeep. So money is not the problem. That is the mindset we need to change. Spiritual gurus also need money to run their ashrams. But what is the difference between them and the persons who are just running after the money? The greed for the money, the lust for the money. So there we need to hold our horses back and be just, if we are having enough money, if we are having good amount of money, then that's very good. What we can do with it is we can tend to ourselves also. We can help the others also who are needy.
Yes.
So that ways money is actually a powerful tool to practice spirituality. Every religion tells you to donate some amount of money to the needy every month or every part of your income or your salary. Every religion says that, and in Sikhism, I don't know. The perfect term for other religions, but in Sikhism, it is called daswan. That is 10% of your earnings. You just donate to others, and you will feel so light and good that you are serving others. So that is the real purpose of earning money, actually, to tend to yourself, to fulfill your needs also. If you are, if you're happy inside, if you're contented inside, then only you will be settled. Your mind will be at rest. If you're always out, poor and needy, then you cannot think about God always. You'll think about hunger first. So money is there to as a tool. Don't let it be a master.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Very nice. I love the perception of money and spirituality. So, very, very, very valid point, Manvinder. So, ladies and gentlemen, money and spirituality are in a way related. It's not like why money and both are running over. They are not poles apart. In fact, they can go well hand in hand because it's not like everybody needs money, and in fact, everybody who has that ability to earn good money have to go for it. It's just important that you don't go greedy over it. If you have the ability to make more money, make it, and that's the way you can help other people. You can employ somebody else. You can, give your, wealth to, just to help someone in need. So it's nothing wrong in making money, but then it's important that you don't greedy over it. So that's the way it is spiritually treated. So that gives an emotional concept or emotional, towards that connect towards that money. So thank you so much, Manvinda. So very, very nice points I've learned today, about the spirituality, which is a very, very, very different topic. Thank you. Thank you so much, Manvinda, for such valuable inputs today. And we're very, very, very grateful for you to take out time and share your experiences and knowledge with our lovely audience and with our Pickbook team. So we absolutely love this book for what it holds for us in terms of, all this positivity and, God, spirituality, everything, but nothing on the negative side. Thank you so much. And yeah, and if somebody wants to buy this book, so
It's available on, yeah, it's available on Amazon, and I feel proud that it is the number one seller, bestseller. It has been announced. So you can grab your copies at Amazon, and it is available in Kindle form also. So you can have it.
Yes. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That book, Uploading God. So a book must read. So you can grab it on the Amazon. And for those of you who are, online for it, so you can have your Kindle version as well. So thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it from our beautiful audio today, Manvinda Kaur. And I'm sure all of you have enjoyed the session as much as we enjoyed discussing about the spirituality today. Thank you so much, Manvinda. And thank you so much, everyone in the room and out there for all watching us live on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Swarna, and I would like to express my gratitude to you for giving me a platform to expressing my views and sharing the snippets from my book. This was amazing experience for me, talking to you and telling all the things about my book. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Go grab the book and have a read, and grab the learning from that book. So take care and see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.